Does your motivation always work? I would like you to speak for a minute or two on this. Does motivation help anybody? Good afternoon. How are you, Mr. Deepak?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you. You should be fine. You're a fitness expert.
Yes.
So you should always be fit and fine.
Always, it's not in our becoming certain things we cannot control,
Yeah, there's
sickness.
certain things we exactly. Certain ailments, yes. But on the whole, you should be fit and fine.
Yes.
Now, as a fitness expert, you must be teaching a lot of people how to keep themselves fit, exercising and all that. And you have to motivate them, right?
True.
Does your motivation always work? I would like you to speak for a minute or two on this. Does motivation help anybody?
For me, motivation helps, right?
Okay.
I'm talking about me. I don't know the other people. And people keep telling, okay, motivation is temporarily. Okay, motivation is temporarily. But if you're not motivated, if you are feeling like, oh, I cannot do exercise, I cannot go out and work out, I cannot eat healthy meal, I cannot wake up early morning. But if I talk about me, when I feel like, oh, I do not want to feel like going to work out, I put earbuds into my ear and listening to motivational videos or song or speeches, and that's drag me out of the home and I go to gym, right?
Okay. So you feel that motivation helps?
Yes, for me it helps. I don't know for other people, but for me it helps.
But what have you observed in your clients? Do they get motivated when you tell them they can do better? Do they get motivated?
I think 10% or 10% to 50% it helps for my client, but most of the time, let me tell you something here. Motivation, if you are not willing to do, it doesn't matter how motivation you are listening and how you are doing, nothing gonna help you. At the end of the day, you have to take steps. You have to. God has given us two things: skill and will. You have skill, but if you don't have will, you will stay the same what you are, right? What you have to know, impulse is your will, right? What I do, I have will, but I also feel demotivated. I feel, oh, I'm tired today, I'm exhausted, I don't feel like going. But what my will is say, no, Deepak, you have to put earbud into your hand and listen to the good content that can ignite inside you.
Okay. Right. Very good. You've given a lot of things to think about. I must think about the things you said. Now, but coming back to the language point of view, what you said would become even more effective if you had used more appropriate words or rephrased certain, because what you said was very good. Content-wise, you were very good, excellent. If the presentation improved, then your impact on others would be much sharper. The first is, we talked about, I asked you to speak for 2 minutes on, what was the topic?
Motivation. That motivation helps.
Motivation. Okay. But when you are very, in the middle of your discussion, when you're very focused on what you're saying, you were mispronouncing the word.
Yeah, I have.
Yes. What were you saying?
Motivation.
But then what do you say?
Motivation.
Motivation. See, So now first thing is you have to motivate yourself to correctly pronounce the word always. Okay? Never motivation. Yeah. No matter how motivating it may be, you will not give it to. You will have to use pronounce it as motivational.
Motivation. Yeah.
Good. Then you said it is temporarily.
Temporarily.
Temporarily is an adverb. We have to use an adjective over here. You're talking about a noun, it, pronoun, it, which stands for motivation. So motivation is
Temporary.
temporary. Excellent. It is not temporarily, it is temporary.
Yeah, it's temporary. Yeah.
So you know that also?
Yeah.
Right. And then early morning, you said when sometimes you don't feel like going, early morning you get up, and it's the correct way to say it would be early
In the morning.
You know all the three mistakes. I just had to point out the mistake and you corrected them yourself, sorry. Yeah. So you know. Now what you need is to be a little careful when you're speaking. Very often what happens with many, it happens with many of us, you're not the only one. We have so many thoughts in our mind. We want to say everything together. So it all comes out, comes out, and we forget how we are saying it. The difference between a good orator, a good speaker, if you've noticed carefully, people who are powerful orators, who are listened to carefully by everybody, never speak fast. They don't speak fast for two reasons. One, when too many things are being, crossing your mind at the same time, you want to get everything out of your mind. So you forget whether you're saying it, how you're saying it. And when you're speaking, the what and the how are equally important. What you're saying is as important as how you're saying it. So it cannot be what at the cost of how or how at the cost of what. First thing. Okay. So try to be slightly slower. Just one notch slower. Not very slow, but just a little bit. The second reason why we must not speak very fast is if you go very fast, your listener may not be able to catch everything you're saying. There's a speed at which we can also catch sounds. So if you have said three things, I may miss out on one. And which could be one of the most important parts of the speech. Right?
Okay.
Third thing is, all these mistakes that you made, there is a difference between an error and a mistake. What is the difference between an error and a mistake?
Error means a very minor mistake, I can say. Very minor. That is error. A mistake is a mistake. You have misused the words and then could not put appropriate rules of grammar. That is mistake.
Usually, I would put it the other way. I would say that the error is something which is because you don't know about it. You don't know what is the correct thing. All right, so you make an error and the teacher corrects you. A mistake is when you know what the correct thing is, but you still say it incorrectly or write it incorrectly because you're a little careless about it.
Okay.
That is why I refer to all the three as mistakes and not as errors. Okay. You knew each one of them. Okay, so be careful about that. Mm-hmm. As a fitness expert, again, you would be doing a lot of trekking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And your trekking takes you to where? Where do you go for your trekking?
I'm a freelancer. Okay. I train people at my client place.
But when you go trekking, maybe when you are on a holiday and you decide to go trekking, you can go trekking up the hills. You can
I don't. I don't go to trekking. Sorry.
Oh, you don't trek at all. What about the jungle?
I don't.
Have you ever been to a forest or a jungle?
I don't think, no, never ever.
Never? Uh,
Never.
Oh, that's very strange because I thought a fitness expert would love to spend a lot of time in the middle of nature, in the midst of nature, which would be in the hills or mountains or the forests, jungles. No.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I think no, not.
No. All right. Then let's imagine that you have to go to a jungle. Let's imagine. You can imagine the jungle, right? Let's
Mhm.
imagine a jungle. What are the good things about a jungle?
Good things is jungle is a cause of oxygen, whatever we are alive. I think,
Okay. Is a
right.
cause of oxygen or a provider of
Yes.
oxygen?
Oxygen. It provides oxygen.
Yes, it is a provider of
It provides
oxygen, not a
oxygen.
cause. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then,
And our nature looks beautiful, and the water and rain, okay, occur on this planet because of those jungles, and because of those jungles, okay, rain occurs, and we plant seeds, and harvest, you know seeds, these all things. So we are getting foods from those because of that jungle, right?
okay.
So I think jungle is, though I think it is inevitable, okay, to we must protect it, so
It
that
is
not only
essential.
human,
It
essential,
is
yeah, not only,
essential for the for life. Right.
yeah, it's
Very good.
essential for the life.
For life.
Yes.
We
And it's
won't
not
use the
only,
over there. We'll just say for life. Okay.
yes.
We won't say the life. We'll just say life. We don't use the article over there. And the word
Uh,
is because, not because.
because
Because. But you keep saying because. See again,
okay,
because.
because
One more thing I'd like to draw your attention to. You're very fond of saying, you know. You use it as a filler all the time. You know. No, I don't know. Avoid using it. Because when you keep using these words, these filler words all the time, you are kind of disturbing the attention of your listener. The flow of your words, the flow of your thoughts breaks. And the listener's attention also breaks, gets disrupted. So try and avoid using it.
okay.
What are some of the disadvantages of jungles, or what are the things you need to be careful about in a jungle?
Disadvantage,
If not a disadvantage, let's say, what are some of the threats in a jungle?
yeah, stress, that means other creatures like animals, other insects, is spread in our, the place where human being stay, they survive.
I don't know. I don't know. So say it again without Say it again.
So
Yes.
because they spread the production of animals, increased a lot, and they come towards in city and towards rural area where people live and sleep. So that is also that could be cause of harm for human being.
If the animals come to the city or
Yeah, if animal comes to the city, or no, insects, or any other
okay.
creature.
You mean to say when somebody goes into the jungle, an insect might get
Yes,
attached to the clothes or
yes.
something, and you bring it back, that could spread an infection or a
Infection,
disease.
yes.
Yes,
True.
quite right. So obviously, when you go to the jungle, you have to wear appropriate clothing where which minimizes this kind of a possibility of an insect catching onto your clothes. You also
True.
have to choose clothing which is appropriate for stay in the jungle.
Mm-hmm.
If it rains, you shouldn't get wet. your shoes, your clothes, all have to be appropriate, and then you're safe.
Yeah.
And today, I think going into the jungle has become much easier because we have our compasses and phones and so on, which can guide us. In case we lose our track, we can always find a way back.
Sure.
Again, let's talk about the same, continue with the same hypothetical situation. We are in the jungle, and would you like to, now lots of people go to the jungle trekking. And when they walk through the jungle, they form what is called a beaten track, a footpath kind of a thing. The grass, the undergrowth, all that, because they've been constantly stepping on it, shoes have been stepping on it, it gets beaten, and a kind of road forms over there.
Yes.
That's called the beaten track, because it's a track which has been formed by constantly being beaten by feet. Yes, a worn out track, right. But the rest of the jungle would be in its natural form. With the shrubs and the undergrowth, everything to the right height, and a lot of insects and little animals and reptiles hiding in over there. In the beaten track, there are not likely to be any insects and all, but the rest of the jungle will have them. Now, if you had to choose between the two, which would you choose?
The beaten track
and the unbeaten track.
I will choose beaten track, of course.
Why?
Because I cannot, get out of the track that where human cannot go. They have not gone there. There would be a reason, but it would be danger.
It would be dangerous.
Dangerous because it may be other insects or animals would be staying that way. Sorry again, I said. So
now, I wonder if you are aware that your choice, this question of mine, is much more than about a jungle. Because your choice of the track is also a reflection of your personality.
Yes.
How?
Because you know about your mind, you know about where is what is right, what is wrong. If you are walking in the jungle and you do not know which path you have to take, which path you have to walk on, right? So it's common for human that if it is a beaten track, we must walk on that because that is made by a human or obviously for human. So it would be safe rather than going on other track, which is there is no track. Rather than going on there is no track.
The reflection of the personality is this, that those who choose the beaten track are people who like to play it safe. They don't want to take any risks. They don't want any adventure. They want to be on the safe side all the time. But those who are adventurous, those who are risk takers, they would choose the other track. Rather, like you said, where there is no track at all, they would choose to go the other way because they want to encounter dangers and overcome dangers. This is a question which is not just about the jungle. It's a question from psychology to analyze the mind of the person. And how we answer, I think almost all of us would choose the beaten track. We like to play the safe life. We like to lead the safe life. We don't want unnecessary disruptions in our daily routine. We don't want to come back ill. We don't want to bring back infections or be the carrier of infections. We want everything to go smoothly so that our life continues the way it is. But 1 out of 10 may be different. And that one person will choose the beaten track. Also, there's a saying in English, if you don't take any risks, you don't achieve anything.
I understand, but ma'am, I would like to tell you here that
Mhm.
if you are adventurous, right? And what do you want to achieve from that adventure? Then you can do. If I do not want adventure, I just want to experience. Why should I put my life on the and take a risk and go into on unbeaten track? Right? It may be some lion or other animals can attack on me, and I do not know how to protect myself. Right? Then it's better. It's my smart work, so I should not go on unbeaten track.
Now, here's the point, you, when you do, you said, you asked me this question, what would I achieve? Right? Now, I'm picking up the from you. I'm also using it. What would the person achieve? The person, it's a person's nature. The person would get a sense of achievement. Adventure has its own exhilaration. Like, you get some sort of a sense of achievement when you've had a very good morning at your exercise center, a particular student has performed excellently. It gives you a sense of achievement. Look, my hard work has paid off. So for those people, that exhilaration comes from that adventure well completed. And when you talked about lion coming or any other animal coming, and why should you expose yourself to a danger like that when you don't know how to protect? Nobody goes who does that goes unprotected. They train. It takes months and years of training before they go. You just don't get up from bed one morning and say, I'm going to go into the jungle and I'm going to face the dangers of the jungle. You don't do that. It requires a lot of training, and they go with adequate protection. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. That would be foolishness.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking about it.
That would be foolishness. Okay, good. Anything more about it? You don't belong to a place where there are jungles and all that, do you?
I am from Bihar, and
Bihar has a lot of, I think, forest area.
Not a lot. I think Jharkhand, it is a lot of forest area, not Bihar.
There is one place which starts with M. I can't remember the name of the place. It is on the Bihar West Bengal border.
Yes. That would be.
Which place is it? Anyway, whatever it is, whatever the name of the place may be, that I believe is a very beautiful forested area, and a lot of tourists go there in summer. It's one of the most beautiful places over there. It's right at the border of Bihar and West Bengal. You've never been there?
No, I've never been. I've never been there.
So how did you choose to become a fitness expert? What was it that prompted you to take up this field? Because you obviously are not somebody who's into adventure and that sort of a thing. So
when I understood what I can do better, before fitness industry, I was working for call center, right? And when I spent almost 4 or 5 years, I thought I was at the same place where I joined in the beginning of my career. So I thought for past 5 years or 6 years, I'm staying here, I'm working for this company, and I didn't do any, great. I didn't get promotion. I could not get hike, so I thought this is not a appropriate place for my bright future. I must do something. On the other hand, I was not performing good. I was not a best performer in past 5 years. So so I thought I was not happy with my career. So I thought, what can I do good? What, I have come to this place to make money, to get fulfillment. Okay, so I thought, what can contemplated about that, what I can do better, what I can give. Even people are paying me a little money, still I am ready to help them. I'm ready to do that work. And I found that that time I was working out, you know, in the kitchen. I used to lift a gas cylinder and doing push-ups, squats, and sit-ups. These all things, and my body used to respond good. So
Used to respond well. Used to
used to
respond well.
respond well, right? So and later on I joined the gym, and when I used to work out in the gym, people were noticing me. Oh, Deepak, you are working very, you work out very hard, hardcore workouts you do. So I thought this is the things I can do well in my life, you know. So and that's how I choose. I take my
You
path.
chose. Okay,
Yeah,
that is how you chose your path, right?
yeah, I chose, and now I'm working on it.
And you are happy with what you do.
Yes, yes, I'm happy a lot.
How long have you been doing this?
7 years, 6 or 7 years.
Okay. So your background in the call center explains a certain accent that you speak with. I was wondering where you had picked up that accent from, because you were in the call center. So you were trained over there with the American accent.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And but you also have a few pronunciation problems which are American and which are not normally accepted in English. For example, you keep saying gonna.
Okay.
Going to. You don't say going to, you say gonna. That's a very colloquial American usage. And we would not use gonna in the kind of English we speak in India, which is more patterned on the British style of speaking. We would prefer the origin of the word gonna. Gonna is the full form of gonna is going to.